Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's have a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker and I'm joined by Bloomberg's equities reporter Chloe Mallet. Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning.
Should we start off with Renault then? Not good this morning in terms of the reaction to what they said last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a great morning from Renault this morning. Last night it cut its margin outlook and as well as its free cash flow outlook. It said that was due to general trade tensions, a tough car market in general as well in Europe, but also competition from Chinese manufacturers. If that wasn't enough of a big news, it also announced a new interim CEO to replace Luca De Meo, who left for Kering. So Duncan Minto is the new man in charge. He's the finance chief and has been at the company since 1997. So he might know the company well enough to kind of guide it out of that tough spot. But crucially, the search for a permanent CEO is still underway. So there's more uncertainty there. And as a result of both sets of news, the stock saw the biggest drop since the start of the pandemic this morning. Just to kind of give a scale to this, it was down 16%. And as a result, that also dragged down the shares of other car makers that are vulnerable to the same uncertainties in the market. So Stellantis and Volkswagen were also down this morning as a result, and that signals maybe more pain for the car sector going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the tariff risks, but it's also the FX risks as well. So that from Renault. ASML's CEO talking about the future growth of the business, really badly received by the markets, and the CFO making comments this morning.
Yes, absolutely. So the CEO, Christophe Fouquet, walked back the growth forecast for next year, essentially. He cited trade tensions in particular, and he said that while the company still prepares for growth in 2026, it can't confirm it. And the investors reacted quite badly to that. That pushed the stock down about 8% this morning. And given how important ASML is for the industry, it also took down the rest of the sector. We saw a lot of weakness across the board for companies like Infineon, BE Semiconductor, and ST Micro. So this is obviously also not helped by the fact that tariffs on semiconductors could come soon, Trump said. That complicates the picture even further for that industry.
Okay, we should end on a lighter note, shouldn't we?
We should.
The bling, Cartier, Richemont results, they're doing quite well because of Cartier sales. Explain.
Yeah, so Richemont had quite a good morning this morning. It was up about 2 or 3%. Slightly more positive news there. So the sales were better than expected. That's off the back of, as you said, strong demand for Cartier and Van Cleef jewelry as well. This is not completely out of the ordinary for Richemont. It has been outperforming its luxury peers over the past few months, and it seems like there's a continuation of that outperformance at the moment. We'll see how the other kind of industry bellwethers, LVMH and Kering, which are reporting a little bit later in the season, how they are faring in an environment that is quite tough for luxury as a whole. There's been a slowdown in demand, especially in China, where shoppers are really pulling back on very expensive purchases. But what we've seen, and what I think is exemplified by Richemont this morning, is that high-end luxury tends to hold up a little bit better. So quite good news from that company, at least one company this morning.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.